22-year-old Gabby Petito was a US travel blogger who went missing in late August during a cross-country dream with her fiancé Brian Laundrie. Now she's been officially declared the victim of a homicide after her body was found in Wyoming National Park, and new details have been released about the way that she died. Now we are joined by our expert Dr. Karen Sutherland from the University of Sunshine Coast. Good morning, Karen. Lovely to see you today.
Good morning.
Karen, we know social media played a significant part in finding Gabby Petito's body. Why are we seeing a rise in true crime social media investigators?
Well, look, I think the way this story played out was it actually began on social media. There were people already following Gabby on her journey across America, on her road trip, and then suddenly she disappeared and the photos stopped being posted, and I think this sort of sparked a lot of interest in the case. And then following on from that, it trended on, particularly I've been watching it on TikTok a lot, and it more and more people, sort of came out to asking others if they saw anything or saw the couple. And then, as we've heard, there were people who were in the area, started to review their own footage and then find instances where, they could see the vehicle and things like that. I think people genuinely wanted to help, and there were more sort of eyes and minds on the case as people were sharing what they thought on social media. On the darker side of that, I think some people actually used the case to try and build their own following. But I think at the heart of it, people genuinely just wanted to help find Gabby.
Yeah, a misinformation researcher over in the US has actually questioned the validity of some of these people who are dissecting the information of Gabby Petito in those days before she went missing, and potentially, I guess, saying that they are trying to capitalise off this kind of content, to the point you just made there. We are seeing that social media, I guess, is sort of stepping up in this regard, and there's two aspects to it. On one side, it's a really good thing because they did help to find her body, and they're sort of having those extra eyes and all of that sort of thing to get the message out there. But on the flip side of this, in the eyes of social media, we're sort of already viewing Brian Laundrie as a criminal, as that he's done it, it's been a domestic murder sort of situation. But that might not even be the case. He hasn't been convicted yet. So there's a very fine line here. And I guess my question is social media and big tech being held accountable for potentially defamatory comments that they're putting out there?
No, they're not. And this is an extreme case, and there are others. And this has been an issue that's actually been raised by the Australian federal government this week as well, around defamation in this way. And what happens on social media, and we've seen it time and time again, this sort of pack mentality that can actually end up in, there's been cases of suicide as a result of people experiencing this pack mentality because of something they did or even didn't do. So people sort of just band together and get this sort of mob going to go after someone they don't know for sure what the actual story is. So yeah, I think platforms do have a responsibility to try and manage this. But again, there are so many users. Like it feels almost like the horse is bolted. Like how do you as a platform manage a couple of billion people? Like how does that actually work? And it'd be interesting to see just how this actually plays out, and what measures are put in place now and in the future.
Yeah, and it's a really important thing to question as well is misinformation in cases like this, where potentially you're messing with someone's life on a large scale. So just for, say, Brian Laundrie, he hasn't been convicted yet. We don't know that he did in fact murder Gabby Petito, but already his life has been changed dramatically because in the eyes of social media, they are already viewing him as a criminal going forward. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting case to watch. I really wanted to get your insight on that from a social media perspective and the power, once again, of social media. Now, new documents actually show in another case that Facebook was allegedly planning to target preteens with their products during play dates as an untapped market. This has all just been disclosed. What are the finer details there?
Yeah, so this case is another case. We keep talking about the Facebook files from that Wall Street Journal article, and so this is just another document that was found that businesses are always looking for new opportunities to target new markets, but maybe preteens is maybe going a little far. But allegedly, this is what's come out, that trying to make a way where preteens in their play dates with their friends will adopt the platform, and maybe certain tools on the platform actually geared to them to start them sort of using it, and then possibly becoming as addicted as a lot of people are in the years to come, and starting to build that brand loyalty with Facebook. So yeah, so that was quite an interesting thing to come out. I'm sure they'll completely deny it, but but allegedly that was in that Wall Street Journal report.
I love how you put the word allegedly in there. So we know no defamatory comments here. Now, also heading our news today, YouTube has added English automatic captions to live video making. What's the significance of this? And I guess, why haven't they done it already ages ago?
Well, I think the technology is, and the technology is going to be interesting to see how good it is, because I tell you, I've had some interesting words come up when with auto-generated captions before, based around different accents and that sort of thing, that you wouldn't want to go public, so you have that time to actually correct them before they go live. But I think maybe it's the technology, they haven't done it before. But the significance is that, I mean, firstly, from an accessibility point of view, people who are hearing impaired will now be able to actually read what's happening live. The other thing is most people, and a lot of research has shown this, don't actually listen to the sound when they're watching video on social media, because clearly they might be out in public, or they don't want anyone else to hear what they're watching, or who knows. But this will actually allow live video to be more accessible in that sense, and more attractive to people who don't want to listen to the sound. So yeah, so I just think it's a really great move for YouTube, and I hope more platforms actually follow suit.
Yeah, definitely. It's a significant move for many businesses, I guess, and YouTubers and all that kind of thing that rely on it, but also the other side you mentioned about the hearing impaired as well. Karen, lovely to see you as always. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks so much. See you.